So anyway,
Ah.
we have some house rules that we need to follow, okay? So first house rule, you need to turn on your camera. Can I see?
Bao giờ mới thi xong?
Okay, and then you need to mute your microphones. Okay, so let's mute our microphones so that we don't distract other students as well when we talk. Because I know you talk to your like classmates and stuff. Okay, and then third rule, do not annotate on the slides so that your classmates don't get distracted also. So this is at all times except when I call your name also. Because sometimes I will call your name to read questions. Okay? All right. So we have 5 categories. You know this already. We have logical thinking, arithmetic, number theory, geometry, combinatorics, and combinatorics. So these are 5. And then each items in these 5 categories are worth 5 points. So it's a lot. So each item count. You have to make sure to review your answers first before submitting because one mistake will lead you to minus 5 points in your score. So that's a lot already. Okay. So first category we have is the logical thinking. So it's the logical thinking. This consists of spatial and pattern recognitions, numerical patterns, and alphabetical patterns. Okay, number 1. Can Layana Giandre Dayuday read the problem?
Sarah is 12 years old now, and Haley was 13 old 3 years ago. What is the difference between their ages?
Okay, very good. So it says here Sarah is 12 years old now and Haley was 13 years old 3 years ago. So that means Haley, oops, Haley now is just 13 plus 3. Why plus 3? Because 3 years ago, it has already passed na. So now it's already plus 3, that is 16. And then, Sarah now is 12. It says there in the problem. So what is the difference between their ages? Difference means plus or minus? It's minus. So 16 minus 12 is equal to 4 years. That's the difference between their ages. You got it? No questions for this? All right. What if the question is like this? Oops. Sarah's age 4 years from now is 16 or let's say 21. While Haley's age 3 years ago is 15. What is the sum of their ages? Okay, what if the question is like this? Can you solve it? I'll give you 2 minutes for that one. And then the answer, you can chat it in the chat box.
Đã bỏ rất kiếm.
Okay, I'm waiting for the answers in the chat box. You type it in. Type it in, type it in. One more minute. Oh, chat is disabled. Hmm. Oh, I guess the admin. Oh no. Oh, I guess chat is disabled. I guess the admin set it that way because we are so many today. Okay, so anyway, you just check yourself if it is correct. But let's solve together. First, it says here 4 years from now, Sarah is 21. So that means Sarah now would be 21 minus 4, 17 years old. That's Sarah's age now. How about Haley? Haley's age 3 years ago is 15. So Haley now would be 15 plus 3. And that is equal to 18 years old. So you see the difference in the phrases? If it is from now, you do minus. If it is years ago, you do plus. So that's the difference. Now, the question is, what is the sum of their ages? So you just do 17 plus 18, that is equal to 35. So that's the answer to this question. This one. Okay. All right. I hope you understood that. Number 2. Who should I call? Alexander Ko. Can you read the question?
Mommy needs 3 minutes to cook a bowl of noodles. She can cook at most 2 bowls of noodles at the same time. At least how many minutes does she take to cook 5 bowls of noodles?
Okay, very good. So the question is, how many minutes does she take to cook 5 bowls of noodles? So she can cook 2 at a time. It says here. At most 2 bowls of noodles at a time. So if you do that, you can cook, this is the first round, and then you can cook another 2, and then on the last one, you can cook the remaining one, right? So all in all, there are 3 rounds that she can cook. So that those are 3 rounds that she can cook. Now, each round lasts for 3 minutes. So this one is 3 minutes. The other round would be 3 minutes. And then the other round is 3 minutes. So that would be 9 minutes all in all. Okay. No annotating on the slides, please. Thank you. All right. No annotating, please. Mhm. Nguyen, can you stop annotating? Thank you. All right, this is the second warning already. Teacher will kick you out if you continue to distract the class. Thank you so much. So the answer here is 9 minutes. Do you have any questions? What
Yes.
is the question? No questions for this one. Okay, what if you need to cook 13 bowls of noodles? How long would that take you? If you need to cook 13 bowls of noodles. Is my background noisy or no? No naman. Okay. Sige. I'll give you 2 minutes for this one and then we'll discuss how to solve it. So find out how many minutes it will take you to cook 13 bowls of noodles.
Yeah. 21 minutes.
Okay, let's find out. So, 13 bowls, how many rounds is that? That's 2 plus 2 plus 2, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 rounds. You see? So that means you need to add 3 7 times. Okay, and that would be 21. If you know multiplication, you can just do 3 times 7 equal to 21. Still. So the answer would be 21. Very good. You're so smart. All right, number 3. According to the pattern shown below, what should be the English letter filled in the space provided? So every time there is a pattern, we need to look at between them, right? Need to look at all of them
They talk a minute.
like that. So if we look at here, there is really no pattern if we do this. So what we do, we try another pattern. We can try alternating pattern. What does alternating means? It means that every other letter, you look at if there's a pattern. So for example, here, M and P, you skip N and O. P and S, you skip Q and R. And then S and V, you skip T and U. So there is a pattern alternating. Now we look at how to solve for the blank. So we have C and E and G and blank. So C and E, we skip D. So that's one letter. E and G, we skip F. Still one letter. So G and blank, we will skip one letter lang. And the next one would be I. Okay. All right. So it's either consecutive pattern or alternating pattern when it's alphabetical sequence. Alright? Okay. Number 3. Laura has 6 sweaters. Robert has 2 fewer sweaters than Laura. How many sweaters do they have in total? So, Laura has 6 sweaters, right? And then, Robert has 2 fewer sweaters than Laura. So, fewer means minus. So, that's 6 minus 2. That's equal to 4. So, in total, Laura has 6. Robert has 4. And that would be 10 in total. Okay. All right. Number 5. Given 21st February 2025 is Friday, which day of the week is 1st January 2025? You have to notice that 21st January comes after 1st January. So that means we are actually counting backwards. That's important because counting backwards and counting forward would give you different answer. Okay, now how many days between January 1st and February 21? So January, you would count 30 days. January 1 is not included because it's your start date, right? Okay, and then February, you would just count 21 days because it's only up until February 21. Now, the total days for that would be 51 days. And then remember, every after 7 days from where we started, every after or before 7 days from where we started is still going to be the same day. So that's 1. Okay? So what we're gonna do, we're just going to see how many 7 days we can fit in 51. So if you don't know division, you could do this. 51 minus 7 minus 7 minus 7. Mhm. Minus 7 minus 7. I think you could fit like 7 sevens there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you would have a remainder of 2 days left. So that means there are 7 Fridays from February 21st to January 1st. And then, after that, you would just need to count 2 days backward pa from Friday. Because remember, we're counting backwards, right? Because we're going from February 21 to January 1. So 2 days backward from Friday, I think that would be Wednesday. So the correct answer would be Wednesday. Okay, that is clear. Um, okay. Oh, there's a chat already. Okay. So no questions for this one. All right. All you have to remember is every 7 days it will be the same day. So you need to find out how many days are going to be left. Oh, okay. Okay, number 6. According to the pattern shown below, what should be the number filled in the blank? So you have 1, 4, 7, and 10. Again, if it's a pattern, please check the difference between each term or each number. Okay, so 1 and 4, the difference is 3. It's just increasing by 3. This is plus 3. This is plus 3. So the next one would just be plus 3. Okay? All right. So this would be just 10 plus 3. That would be 13. Okay? All right. Now, what if I ask you what would be the, for let's say for example, 12th term? Oh, that's 12th term. If I ask you what would be the 12th term? Can you solve for that? I will give you 3 minutes. 12th term. Okay, for those that are not primary 1, you can just click leave breakout room, and then you will go back to the main breakout room after you click that. With that one, you will just wait to be reassigned to the correct room. So just click leave breakout room. So you click at the bottom of your screen, there is a leave. So there will be two options, leave breakout room and leave meeting. So just click the leave breakout room so that you can be reassigned. All right, I'm giving you 3 minutes to solve for this one. Mm. Okay. When you're finding nth term, for example, this one, 12th term, you can just do it manually. So for example, 4th term is 10, right? And then you just plus 3 until you go to 12th term. 5th term, 10 plus 3, like that. And up until you go to the 5th term. But if you know how to multiply already, you can just use this formula. Nth term is equal to the first term plus n minus 1 times the difference. So what does this mean? Nth term is the term that you are looking for. For example, you're looking for the 12th term, right? So that means you're just looking for 12th term. That means your n is 12. And then first term is the first number here. That is just 1. So first term is 1 plus n minus 1. Remember, your n is the number that you are looking for. 12th term. You're looking for the 12th term. So your n is 12 minus 1. And then difference. What difference are we talking about? The difference between each term, which is 3. This one. That's the difference. So we multiply it by 3. And then we can solve. 12 minus 1 is just equal to 11. So you would have 1 plus 11 times 3. Now, which one do you do first? addition or multiplication? Remember, MDOS. What does MDOS means? Multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So that means if you have addition and multiplication, M comes first. So you do multiplication first. That means here you do 11 times 3 first. If you don't know multiplication, you can just add 11 3 times. But if you know, this is 33. And then don't forget the plus 1. The 12th term will be 34. So that's how you get it. Not manually. But it's okay if you're more comfortable with manual, like adding plus 3 lang. That's okay also. But me, I prefer this one. Because what if you're asked 25th term, right? What if you're asked like that? That would take a long time to add individually. Okay. So I think you can screenshot this or write this in your notebook. So you will have time to memorize this. And because you will be using this up until your grade 6 or even secondary. Okay, no questions for this? All right. Now let's go to the second category, arithmetic. So arithmetic is just easy, but you have to be careful because again, usually the students get wrong here because they think it's easy. They just like solve it fast. They don't recheck their answers. So usually there's careless mistakes. So here you need to be careful even if it's easy because it's still 5 points or 6 points each. Okay. If A is a one-digit number, what is the value of A if the equation below is correct? So, di ba? When we add two-digit numbers, we usually do the rightmost or the most right column. So, this one is the most right. And you see, it means A plus A is something that equals to 0. And then you look at beside here, from 3, it became to 4. So, what does that mean? From 3, it became 4. So that means there was a carryover 1 here that is not seen. And there's a carryover 1 here. That means this one is actually 10. So A plus A is equal to 10. What number, when you add to itself, is 10? That's just 5 plus 5, right? Is equal to 10. So that means A is equal to 10. Equal to 5. So that's the answer. Very good. It's equal to 5. Okay. Number 8. What should be the number filled in the blank if the equation below is correct? So you have 31 minus blank is equal to 23. So all you have to do, you need to exchange this and this. So that means 31 minus 23 is equal to blank. So that means 11 is equal to blank. So the missing answer is just 11. This one. Okay. What if it's like 59 plus 21 minus oh, minus equal to 35. Can you solve this? I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, let's solve together. Yay, I see some answers. Okay, so you can actually do 59 plus 21, right? That is just going to be 80. So you have 80 minus blank is equal to 35. So again, if you just have one blank, you can just exchange them. So you can do 80 minus 35, and that would give you the value for the blank here. And that is just equal to 45. 45 is equal to blank. So that okay. Sorry, I got disconnected. So the answer there is 45. Can you see my screens? Oh, okay. All right. Number 9. Is the PowerPoint readable? Okay. Find the value of 19 minus 11 plus 9. So you have this, and then you can just consider them as bubbles that you can rearrange, or balls if you want. So these are bubbles. You can rearrange them, right? Or you can just do them from left to right. So 19 minus 11, what is this? What is this? 19 minus 11, that is 8. And then you have plus 9. Don't forget. And then you can do 8 plus 9. That's just equal to 17. So the answer here is 17. Okay. All right. Number 10. Find the value of 13 plus 2 plus 1 plus 7 plus 28 plus 9. So you can do them from left to right, but what I'd like to do is I would like to pair up numbers such that its ones or unit digit gives a sum of 10. This is what I'd like to do. So what do I mean by that? For example, 13, right? It ends with 3. So what do I need to have a sum of 10? That would be 7. So I would pair them up. Would look like this. 13 plus 7. How about 2? 2 I would pair up with something that ends with 8. So that's 28. And then 1 I would pair up with something that ends with 9. So I would have these pairs. And it's easier to add together because they all equal to something that ends with 0. And then you have to check if you listed all the numbers. So you need to cross it out because sometimes we will be forgetting some numbers if we don't do this. So I crossed out all the numbers. That means I already paired all the numbers. So 13 plus 7, this is 20. 2 plus 28, this is 30. And then 1 plus 9 is 10. So that's it. And now you just have to add all of them together. 20 plus 30 plus 10, that is just equal to 60. So the answer is 60. Okay. How about this one? If C is a one-digit number, what is the value of C if the equation is correct? So you have 12 minus C is equal to C, right? So what is a number that when you minus to 12 gives you the same number? You can try. And then the clue is one-digit number. So that would just be equal to 12 minus 6 is equal to 6. Right? So that means C is actually 6. That's the answer. That is C. Okay? All right. Arithmetic is really just easy, no? But you just have to be careful. Okay. Find the value of 2 plus 4 plus 6, 2 plus 4 plus 6, 2 plus 4 plus 6, 2 plus 4 plus 6. So you can see it's just repeating over and over again. This one, this one, this one, then this one, and this one. So how many sets is that? That's just 5 sets of 2 plus 4 plus 6. So therefore, you just need to find out how much is 2 plus 4 plus 6. That is just equal to 12. And then since there are 5 sets of it, you can just add 12 5 times. 12 plus 12 plus 12. And that would give you 60. And that would be the answer. This one. 60. Still 60. That's the third 60 we got from today, no? They like the answer 60. Okay, finally, we're in the third category. Almost half. So the whole TMO finals is 30 questions. So half of it is 15, right? So when we reach number 15, we will take a break after. Okay. So, number 13, determine whether the result of 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 is an odd or an even number. So all you have to do is add all of these. How do we say if a number is odd or even? If the last digit of the number, for example, you have a 2-digit number. If this digit is odd or even, then the number is odd or even. So let's just add all of them together. Again, you need to pair it up. So 3, you can pair it with, you can pair it with, there's no pair that gives you a 10. So I'll just pair it with like this. Because 5 is also easier to add. So I'll just do 3 and 12, 6 and 9, 13 and 14, and then 15. Okay, so this will give me 15. And then this would also give me 15 also. And then this would give me 27. And this would give me, of course, 15 only. So, 15 plus 15 plus 27 plus 15, 45, 65, 72. I think. So, that's 72. Is that odd or even? Of course, it is even because it ends with an even number 2. So, the result of this whole thing is just an even number. Okay. All right, that's just easy. Which of the following even numbers is the smallest? Oh, which ones are the even number? This one is the an even number. Which else? This one and this one. Those are just the even number. Of course, the smallest is 8. That's the smallest. So the answer is going to be 8. You should be master. You should know even and odd numbers now, okay? Because you are grade 1. All right, number 15 before we take a break. Eva has 25 pairs and Felix has 3 pairs. How many pairs should Eva give Felix so that they will have the same number of pairs? So what I'd like to do, this is a shorter way of doing it. You just look at how much is the difference between Eva and Felix's number of pairs. So Felix has only 3. Poor Felix. So 25 minus 3, that's just 22. That means you need to divide 22 evenly to the both of them so that they will have equal. So, what is half of 22? That is just 11 plus 11 is equal to 22. So that means Eva has to give Felix 11 pairs so that they would have equal. And then you can check this. So this is how you check it. Checking. Eva has 25. If he gives Felix 11, that would just become 14 left, right, for Eva. And then, if Felix received 11, he would also have 14 for Felix. So that means your answer 11 is correct. This is the correct answer. Okay? All right. Is there any questions here? None. So it's 10:53. I'll give you a 10-minute break. That means we come back at 11:03. Okay? So you can take your snacks, go to the bathroom, but come back at 11:03. Okay. So don't worry if you want to come back to like, oh, can you hear me? Can others hear me? Yes, okay. So if you have something that you want to come back to, there will be a recorded lecture. So that will be sent to you in email. So you can just watch it again and again. Okay? All right. See. Let's do number 16. Fill in the blanks with plus and minus to make the equation below correct. Write down the complete equation on the answer sheet. So again, what's our technique here? Step 1, put plus on all the blanks. Step 2, subtract the sum on step 1 to the given sum. And then step 3, get the half of step 2, put minus on it. That half. So what do I mean by this? Let's explain one by one. It says here, step 1, put plus on all the blanks. That means 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6. I put plus on all the blanks, right? And then I get a sum of that. So what's the sum of 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6? 13 plus 17, I think that's 30, right? And then we go to step 2. What does step 2 say? Step 2 says subtract the sum on step 1 to the given sum. So the given sum is just the sum that is written here. That's the given sum. Ah, I'll put there para you don't get confused. So step 2, you have 30. That's the sum from step 1, right? Minus given sum. And that is 16. Correct? On then, step 3, what does it say? You get half of the step 2. So step 2, you have 16, right? Half of it is what? 8. So that is half of 16. 8. Because if you add 8 and 8, it's equal to 16. So half is 8. That's where you'll put the minus sign. So you have here 8, right? Like this. So you put minus sign here. And then the other blanks will just be pluses. And that would be the correct answer. This is a better way than trial and error where you just like try random things. Because mostly if you do trial and error, first it will take you long and second, it can lead to an error or a mistake. So this one is a more sure solution. Okay? All right, let's do another one. You know, teacher, I love to like do some sample problems. Okay. Okay. Can we do this? I'll give you 3 minutes for that one. It's okay if you missed question 1 to 15. There will be a recorded video. So you can just review it. So this whole session is recorded. Okay, 1 more minute. Okay, let's do this one. What is step 1? Put all pluses on the blanks. So you put 30 plus 8 plus 12 plus 7. That's just, I think, 57. Okay. So that's step 1. Put all the blanks and then get the sum. And then step 2, you get the difference between 57 and the given sum, which is 19. This is the given sum. So 57 minus 19. How much is that? I think that is 38. And then step 3, get half of 38. So half of 38 is 19. That's where you'll put the minus sign. But look at the equation here. There's no 19 here, right? No 19. But you have 12 and 7, which if you add together would be 19. So that means you would put the minus sign in 12 and 7, and the remaining blanks you will just put plus sign. So the correct answer would be 30 plus 8 minus 12 minus 7. And you can recheck it. That would give you indeed 19. So you need to recheck again and again. You need to recheck your answers. Okay. So the answer would be 30 plus 8 minus 12 minus 7 is equal to 19. When you answer in your competition, you need to write down the complete equation because it says here. So don't just answer plus minus minus. That will be marked wrong. Okay. Number 17. The numbers below form an arithmetic sequence. What is the eighth term of the sequence? Oh, so I gave you the formula earlier. What was the formula? Nth term is equal to first plus n minus 1 times difference. I gave this to you earlier, right? Remember? Okay. So, nth term. We're looking for the 8th term. So, that means we replace n with 8 term. First term is just the first number here. Like that. Here. That's the first number. So, the first number is 19. Plus, we're looking for the 8th term. So, we have n as 8. Again, 8 came from the 8th term. Difference. What does difference means? Difference means what is the difference between each of these terms? That's the difference. Okay. So if you look at it, 19 and 26 is just plus 7. 33 and 26 is just plus 7. 30 and 40 is just plus 7. So the difference is actually 7. Oops. So here. Now, we solve first those that are in the parentheses. 8 minus 1 is 7. So you would have something like 19 plus 7 times 7. Again, which one do we do first? Remember, M does. So M comes first than addition. So multiplication, you do it first than addition. So 7 times 7 is 49. Then you just add 19 to it. So you have 19 plus 49. And that is just equal to 68. So that's the 8th term. Okay? So, again and again, when teacher tells you to memorize something, you memorize it because you will be using that in the future. You don't know. So, you need to memorize this one. Okay. Number 18. How many numbers is or are there between 10 and 79, including the first and the last number? So, how do we count numbers? You can count it like individually, but that would take a long time. So what you do, you just minus 79 minus 10. And then you just add plus 1. Why did we add plus 1? This. Why add? We add this to include 10 in the count. Because it says here, including the first and last number. So if we don't add 1, then you would not be including the first number 10 in the count. So if you have that, you just have 70 numbers. Okay. All right. Number 19. So we're already in geometry. Well, we're already in geometry. Okay. Cubes of the same size and shape are placed in the figures below. If there are 3 cubes in figure 1, at least how many cubes are there in figure 2? So you see there are 3 cubes. And then you can see that figure 3 is just 4 comprised of 4 of figure 1. 4 sets, right? So that means you just have to add 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 4 times, and that would give you 12. Or you can just count them individually. Up to you. Okay, number 20. According to the pattern shown below, what should be the figure drawn in the blank? So what pattern is getting repeated all over again? You have square, star, triangle, circle, this triangle. Then it gets repeated all over again. Square, star, triangle, and this triangle. Right? So, what is the missing figure? The missing figure is this circle. Just the circle, like that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No questions for that one? All right. 21. How many line segments is or are there in the figure below? Okay, so if it's line segments, what do you need to memorize? Do you remember? A line with 5 points has how many segments? 10 segments. And then a line with 4 points has 6 segments. And then a line with 3 points has 3 segments. And a line with 2 points, of course, only has 1 segment. So you need to memorize this one so that you won't be like taking too long to solve these kinds of problems. So now let's look at the lines. There's no line. There's no line with 5 points. There is also no line with 4 points. But there is a line with 3 points. 1, 2. Right? So what does it says here? A line with 3 points has 3 segments. So you have 2 lines with 3 points. So that just means one line has 3 segments, the other line has 3 segments. So that is 6 segments. And then you have 2 lines with 2 points. So what does it mean? One line has 1 segment and one line has 1 segment. That means you have 2 segments. And then total is just 6 plus 2, 8 segments. Okay? All right, all right. Now, let's go to 22. So again, please memorize those ones. If you can screenshot naman. So that you will be able to have time to memorize this. Just like the formula that teacher taught you earlier. You have to memorize that one as well. Okay, how many sides is or are there in the polygon? So sides are just the lines outside of the polygon. Lines that form the polygon. Okay, so how many sides do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We only have 7 sides. What do we call these? Polygon. Hang on. Is or are there in the figure below? So you're being asked of the rectangle. So it's important to note also that a square, a rectangle. So you need to know this. A square is a rectangle. But a rectangle is not a square. So why is a square a rectangle? Because rectangle is only defined as having 4 sides. And square also has 4 sides. That's why a square is a rectangle. But a rectangle is not a square because square should have 4 equal sides. And not all rectangles have 4 equal sides. That's why. Okay, how do we find this? If you have a figure that like this, number of rectangles is just equal to the sum of row times sum of column. Here. Okay, you get it? So number, okay. So what was I saying again? Number of rectangles is just equal to the sum of rows times sum of columns. So what is this? It seems complicated, right? But it's just actually so easy. Rows are the number of horizontal lines that you can draw here, right? That's the rows. So therefore, there are 3 rows. So, sum of rows, what does that mean? That's just 1 plus 2 plus 3. Why is that? Because this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So you have to add them all together. What about columns? Columns are the vertical lines. So for example, this one, and this one, right? So that is 1, 2, and 3. So sum of columns is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 also. So this is just equal to 6. And this is just also equal to 6. So you have 6 here multiplied by 6 here. And that's just equal to 36. So there are 36 rectangles. Okay, so that's 36. All right. What if the figure is like this? Figure is like this. Okay, can we solve that one? I'll give you 3 minutes. I'll give you 3 minutes to solve it. So again, okay, let's find out. So rows are this one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So what does that mean? Sum of rows is just equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Okay? All right. Now, how about the columns? How many columns do we have? We have 3 columns. 1, 2, and 3 columns. So, sum of columns is just equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay. Sum of rows, how much? This is equal to 15. And this is equal to 6. Right? So, therefore, you have 15 here. And you have 6 here. So if you know multiplication, you can just do 15 times 6. But if you don't know multiplication, you can just do 15 plus 15 6 times. And that is just equal to 90. So that's how you solve it. Okay? All right, fun, right? This is a fun problem for me. One of my favorite types of problem. Number 24. Now, there are 6 points joining all the other points to form straight lines. How many straight lines can be formed at most? So, the easier way for you to solve this, you just have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 10, 11, 12. That's 12 already. And then 13, 14. Last one then that you haven't connected is 15. So that is 50. Answer is 15. Okay. All right. Last category. Yay, we're almost done. And then we can play. 25. What is the smallest three-digit number formed by combining three numbers, 0, 3, and 5? Each number can only be used once. That means no repeating number. So you have three-digit number. Like this, you have three blanks. Of course, when it's the smallest, you put the smallest here in the hundreds place. But you cannot put 0 here, of course. Because that would mean it would be a two-digit number. So the next smallest is 3. And then you can put 0 here. And then the biggest is 5. 305. That's the smallest. How about the largest? Largest, you put the largest here. The next largest. And then the smallest on the ones place. That's the difference. Okay, very good. Number 26. Which of the following numbers is the smallest? So, don't forget to count how many digits each number. So, this is a very important step because sometimes you will get tricked if you don't count it. So, let's count. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 digits. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one is 7. See? They have different number of digits. And this one is 8. So, of course, the smallest is the one with the less digits. Least digits. So, that would mean that the answer would be this one. 2225931. Okay? All right. Number 27. Jackson has 6 $5 coins and 5 $1 coins. At most, how many $2 coins can he exchange these for? So first of all, you need to find out the total money of Jackson. Total money. So what does that mean? He has 6 $5 coins. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's just equal to $30. And then he also has 5 $1 coins. And that would be equal to $5. So his total money is what? Total money is $35. And then if you know division, you can just do 35 divided by 2. That would give you 17, remainder 1. What does it mean? It means you have 17 $2 coins. And after that, you will have $1 left. So the answer would be 17. Now, if you don't know division, that's just okay. You're still grade 1. Don't worry. You can just do 35 minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, up until you reach something that couldn't be minus 2 anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So that's a lot. And then you would get 1. So you would have to just count how many 2s are there. And you would still get an answer of 17. So that's how you do it. If you don't know division, answer would still be 17. There. Okay? Okay. Now, let's do number 28. Among the values of the following expressions, how many two-digit numbers is or are there? So, this is 10. This is 8. This is 23. This is 7. This is 12. This is 13. And this is 12. So, you just need to find out the two-digit numbers. So, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, there are 5 two-digit numbers there. Oh, 8 plus 1 is 9. Sorry. Sorry. Thank you. So, there are 4 two-digit numbers. Thank you so much for that. See, even teacher, even teacher gets wrong sometimes if I don't get careful. So that's why we need to be careful always. Even if we're so intelligent or if we know it already, if we're not careful. Okay. 18 plus 5 is 23. Okay. All right. Last question. Yay. Second to the last. If we choose two different numbers from 2, 4, 6, and 8 to form two-digit numbers, how many of these numbers are even? Okay. So, we just need to list down. We have 24, we have 26, we have 28, correct? And then, if it starts with 4, we have 42, we have 46, we have 48. If it starts with 6, we have 62, 64, and 68. And then if it starts with 8, we have 82, 84, 86. Basically, all numbers you can form are just even numbers because the selection is all even numbers. So how many is this? If you add them together, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, this would just have a total of 12 numbers. Okay. All right. Last question. Yay! If we divide 15 triangles into 3 equal groups, how many triangles should there be in each group? So you have 15 triangles here. You want to divide it by 3. So what you can do, you can just group them into 3 and then count how many groups can you form. Like that. How many groups can you form? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the answer to that is, in each group, there would be 5 triangles. So that you can have 3 equal groups. Okay, let's try if that is correct. Let's group the triangles into 5 and see if it is indeed 3 groups. So see, it is actually 3 groups with each group having 5 triangles. Okay. All right. This is the last question. Do you have any questions? If you have like, if you want to look the lecture again or watch the lecture again, we will be sending you a recorded lecture. So you can watch it over and over again. So again and again, memorize the formulas that I taught you, and you will do well in the competition. Okay? All right. Can you type in your questions also so I can see? Oh, how can I get the records? The records will be, the link will be sent to you in your email after this one. So if, I think later this afternoon. So everyone will be sent an email as long as you put an email in the registration. Okay? All right. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you for spending your Saturday with me.